We gotta throw it over.
Alright guys, tuan-tuan dan puan perlawanan semifinals SRG OG menentang Onic daripada Philippines. Sama-sama kita saksikan perlawanan pertama di Lane of Dawn.
Best of 5 guys, kena menang 3. Sama lagi kita saksikan.
This has been a draft, as mentioned by our panelists, that very much resembles Onic PH. But Onic PH, as mentioned by King Kong.
Alright guys, tuan-tuan dan puan.
Today compared to yesterday. Welcome to game number 1, and we're heading into the Land of Dawn. Mirko, you've had a lot of thoughts regarding the exchange in the draft, but
cerah baik mata. Clear.
Are you leaning into for now?
I've always been kind of
Penipu Real Madrid macam berdosa lah. Oh, first blood dia dapatkan oleh Stormy.
Damage has
Bufflin
really
jadi
been
tumbangkan.
the ultimate win condition in this meta. You have more of it, usually you win games.
Brusco cuba menahan minion supaya Super Flame dapatkan wave dia, nampak gayanya tertinggal juga.
Onyx Philippines draft, and hey, they're utilizing it well. They're already punishing Super Friends.
Late game Onyx PH sakit guys, serius.
That's a kill.
Late game Onyx PH sakit guys. Stormy ditumbangkan oleh King Kong, flicker daripada Yums. Ada trade balik kill.
One down.
Yep, that has been such a quick response from Onic PH. Typically, you would be taking a bit more time, especially in terms of the jungle rotations, given the current meta. But now that King Kong has his hands on the back shot, it seems like it's something you could be expecting a bit more to come in for Onic PH. Taking a quick look at the emblems as well, at the very least, Super Prince still went with that pull yourself together.
Retribution, Stormy ditekan, Stormy jadi tumbangkan.
Hey, they took that first blood personal. Sky's now
The final beat.
Over to Brusco. Still has enough peel from King Kong too. But King Kong is a level down. This is something that we actually spoke about, at least backstage. Me,
Innocent.
In a group with Midnight, talking about the early rotations of King Kong that really has been not as effective in the last few matches. But here on the box shot,
Aduh, terlepas satu.
Fits in. Innocent unable to get the shot on.
Oh, duk terlepas, duk gerobak satu.
Is very low. Maybe this is why they prioritize the
Dia masuk, tarikan, Iron Fender, Brusco down, nice. Brusco tak ada flick tadi. King Kong sangat-sangat low, nampaknya peluang cerah untuk SRG OG mendapatkan turtle. Ultimate daripada Cici. Ranger juga telah dibuka. Turtle yang mudah. Okay, ni okay. Sekai cuba masuk bahagian jungle, ditunggu oleh Brusco. Iron Fender flicker, oi baik tu. Baik.
That's a double and a diversion that they won't take.
It's just to probably keep Onic PH on
Dia nak curi babi biru pula tadi tu. Tapi terlampau risky, cancel. Abort.
Early game relatively well. We'll be checking that instant replay right now. It was right after they took that turtle.
Sok, tadi flicker baik siap, kena sedut pula.
But it seems like they were
Keren.
more. So they didn't just settle with the objective. They literally wanted to establish this 1k lead that they
Vikram
currently
level 6
have
ke level
by getting more
5.
kills after Onic PH.
This Ruby is what got them that final game. Obviously, it's also with the Roger. Last year in the Grand Finals up against Falcons AP Bren. So you can definitely see the Cram. I mean, he's so comfortable on this pick. He knows exactly the limits of this hero, when to go in, holding on to the I'm offended, just peeling for the team until the right moment comes in to get that massive one to turn things around. And even with
King Kong cuba masuk ke area jungle musuh.
King Kong's HP bar, hasn't really been helping Onic Philippines. They haven't been able to utilize that sustain because I guess SRG just have too much damage.
That's where the entire damage conversation goes in. And again, you pair it up with the Lu Yi, who Stormy, even just now, we saw decided to use the diversion that wasn't really after anything. It's just a diversion that was used to threaten Onic PH, and SRG OG with this kind of lineup and the lead that they already have can just keep going for all those surprise plays with the diversions with the I am offended.
Tak tahu. Ini the battle of discipline je boleh cakap guys.
Yums, he's been a bit more conservative so far. He's been there just to protect
Itu masalah ni kalau tak
strikes come
disekat,
in at the
betul.
right timings.
Sebab dekat laning pun Irretil still menang guys lawan Granger game.
Well-timed knockup even up to 2 members of Onic PH could definitely
Marksman
change the
dia
flow and tide of the game, and that's what we
kena
might be
counter,
seeing
guys.
right now, because Yums is holding the bruise. Oh, but he gets spotted by King Kong.
Yep, the Shield Unity able to open up the bush there. The curtain call already baited out as well as Cram. This kites away, traction pulse lands on Yums. King Kong still on it. Cram looking behind him.
Waduh, dua kena.
Goes on fist crack, able to
Ultimate.
disengage as well. King Kong
Tetap
waits
je
for
dapat oleh King Kong.
as Kirk zones him in the
Tarikan
back
bersama
line.
flicker, Kirk jadi tumbangkan. Nice.
Into skies to get
Sabar
the
Sky,
kill.
jangan tembur apa sangat.
Beats King Kong holding his own.
Kira masuk. Alamak.
Jumps in the heavy crossbow. Going to play again. That's going to be Cram pinned
Ui,
down.
baik, 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 baik.
And it is Onyx.
Stormy.
But Stormy.
Stormy.
All alone.
Kenapa?
Skies again jumping in, but has to respect Onyx Philippines.
Lah, apa tu dah ada flick tak lari.
Crab still going for
Purify
the eye offended. If
daripada
Purify
Super
will be
Friends.
forced out of Super Friends as well, but I wonder what the idea was from SRG OG, because the moment that they were
Additional
spotted out by
movement,
Onyx
guys.
PH, it did feel like they were
Orang dah habis perang lah tu.
too confident to go in. They set the tempo for that particular team fight, but there wasn't anyone from Onyx who was that low for Stormy to risk going in and surprising
Tarikan
the
ke?
back lines. Oh, but Kirk,
Nice. Disiplin je duk. Slow-slow je duk.
Nope.
Kick off
Tsunami
kat atas
slam under turret.
tower.
Brusco
Disedut,
covers
baik.
that spot and
Brusco
Stormy
down.
Gets back to even score. Every time Stormy dies, he's able to
Stormy tadi 50
balance
lari.
it out with the assists.
50. Apa duk? Dia boleh flicker lari duk.
It has just been SRG who've been capitalizing more off of the mistakes of Onyx Philippines.
Yep. But right now, they're the first to actually take
Conceal.
a turret away
Hey.
from Onyx PH2, so the lead is just growing
Baik
for
duk.
SRG OG.
Bacaan Kira
Great reactions from
bakal-bakal
Kelra as
kena
well,
flank. Dia
not,
terus ke belakang, weh.
putting
Dia tak
himself
duduk
into
dalam
dangerous
bush.
spot, but this is an
King Kong
immediate
datang,
response
beri
from King
bantuan.
Kong too. That's a lot of damage coming in from Innocent, however, even despite the early
7
game,
balas
we've
3,
seen
1500
him
gol lead sekarang ni dalam
go
fasa
through
6
up
minit.
against Irithyll, where it felt like
Whoa.
Keller was just doing a great job. He's actually leading by, even if we say it's just a bit, that's actually massive for a Granger up
Kirk
against a
menggunakan
Turtle
ulti.
Cram.
Absolutely. Like you said, this small lead can build up to a massive one. And here's the thing about the Ruby, right? Yes, you can poke him down,
Yep.
but he has ridiculous amounts of sustain.
Harap Innocent ni
he'll
duk
be back up
dapat
with
bagi
another
kill.
mini-wave.
Naikkan stack
That's just
skirmishes
how
dia
quick
supaya
he
dia
can
snowball dia
find his
terus.
way back into the team fight. If
Mudah-mudahan,
other
guys,
half
eh.
reset,
Okay.
look for certain
Diversion,
creeps just
King
to
Kong.
find something
Megang
easy.
jungle
Oh,
tu.
King Kong actually
King Kong
goes
patah balik.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be the disengage, but he actually walks
King
back
Kong dah
up. Cram
ulti.
again, full
Sabar jap,
HP.
jangan perang dulu. Bagi dah habis
Break
ulti
smite
dulu.
with the Ruby. Innocent with poke over to Super Friends. King Kong holding onto the turtle right now. Super Friends gets got to half HP.
Oh, he has the
Okay, boleh ke?
traction
Boleh ke
down,
sekarang?
though. He might
Conceal
go
daripada
for it.
Brusco.
Oh, there we go. That's gonna be Cram targeted.
Tetap dia dapat kali Skies. Nice.
Winning out the retreat battle. Now
Sultan Brusco down. Nice. Kick off.
They go over to Tsunami Slam over to King Kong, but he's still going to be tanking up
Yum
so
down.
much. It's Kirk jumps back in with a vengeance, able to tank up. King Kong shredded down. Very
Nice.
low.
Double
Innocent
kill dapat
gets a
Innocent.
double, and it's 2 on the Sky Piercer.
And we just mentioned the entire
Wah,
small
kemas pula
leads
ini
built up
SRG,
into
guys.
bigger
Ada bobo,
leads
guys.
and
Grand final ke?
bigger problems
Diversion.
now for Onic PH. The amount of damage that came in from Innocent dealt with both the tankiest frontliners here of Onic PH.
Much better
Kirk did a
than
great
yesterday,
job
guys,
against
eh.
the
Gameplay
Vengeance too,
SRG
was a
hari ni.
huge
Serious,
part of
serious.
How that team fight was sort of a bit more prolonged for Onic PH.
Objektif dia
but
jelas.
Innocent literally didn't care. He went for the ones who were blocking the damage.
Innocent dah
dealers,
dapat
and so
20
it
stack
made things
Sky Piercer.
a bit more difficult for Super Friends, for Kelra, just to find the right position to land all those heavy crossbows and all those basic attacks.
And just like MSC 2024, SRG are playing their
Harap
style of
konsisten lah ni.
MLBB, where it's
Slow.
aggression is, or offense is
Sebab
the
dia
best
tengah winning ni,
defense. This is how they play
4,000
front
goal
to
lead.
back for Innocent. It's an
8 minit,
unorthodox way to play
quite
front to back, 'cause
besar.
usually you just have tanks in front, but they have damage in front. That way, Onyx Philippines are kind of messed up. Like, they can't really dive in because they can't ignore the front line. And Innocent, in the end, gets all those free shots.
Yeah, that's Innocent with already 3 core
Saya pun nampak
items.
bis selesai ni,
And
betul.
Sekai's just now already picked up the Holy Crystal as well. So in 8 minutes, SRG
6,500
can already
gol lead.
considered
Beza
to
dengan Kera
definitely be
5,300, guys.
online. Stormy
Ada beza dalam
does feel like
1,400.
serving a bit more of utility
So,
in this current situation,
dalam
but
situasi
do
yang
they
agak
have an
selesa
idea,
sebenarnya.
or does Brusco actually want to go for this? Yums is
Innocent?
there protecting Innocent, but it won't be enough.
JCC with a shield unity.
Aduh,
What a
Innocent,
pick from
mati.
Brusco holds on to
13
his
stack, guys.
position in the bush and gets all the value, but there was
Wah,
no
you got flanking
shutdown. This is the
Brusco.
thing about SRG right now. Their lead has mostly come through objective. I mean, there has been a few kills,
Lot
but there's
dah
no
hidup.
actual bounty to turn the game
Buy
around
time
yet.
sikit, buy time
Yeah.
sikit.
It's too evenly distributed across the members of SRG OG. They've just been that much well coordinated in terms of the team fights and how it's been going so far. But there's a potential diversion we might be seeing from Stormy.
Ke dalti. Kurang flicker. Pick off. Purify dah digunakan oleh Kera. Blue Skies. Okay, semua hidup. Nice! Kera down. Kill penting ni. Boleh lot sekejap gini. Kalau dia nak force lot juga kan. Dia datang kill je tu. Marksman damage dealer besar dia dah tak ada. Okay, dia tak contest lot ni guys.
It's always Kellera who usually is the last man standing, usually turns the tides for his team.
Lot mudah dapat kali SRG.
Completely different situation now. Innocent with the range. And with the way that SRG OG have been just constantly breaking the formation of Onic PH,
kemaskan. Try tolak 3v
made it a
kalau
bit
dapat.
more easier to target one of the most crucial heroes in Onic PH's lineup now.
Tapi tak boleh 3v juga kan. Ada Bakzia, tiba-tiba Bakzia flank di belakang guna roda impian. Benak juga guys. Atas freeze, mid freeze.
To be the one to get the execute kill, so dish out damage in the team fights, and you can see that massive lead for Innocent in the gold lane as we were talking about this matchup. Everybody had their eyes in the gold lane, and man, Innocent's making it looking rough for Kellera.
We've been
2000 gold lead guys dia
much
pegang oleh
highlight
Innocent.
on Kellera after multiple highlight plays.
Guys, jangan
that he
lupa
done
hashtag
yesterday.
SRG guys dan flag Malaysia guys. Tanda sokongan korang di ruang komen guys. Let's go game, Malaysia boleh guys.
On the defense first. There are waves coming in from SRG OG side and a Lord that's still full HP marching down bottom. At least they have two marksmen who could potentially deal with this.
Oh nice! Solo kill!
Now we reduce that just to one.
Nice guys!
Holy shield down below, taken down, but also Kellera getting assassinated by the Prince up top. Skies! Hey, a lot of questions onto Skies. Utility meta, how's he gonna do? He gets on a signature Joy, and he pops off. Cram opening up again. Superpen's gonna be caught by the Yin reaction. A few shots by Innocent, forcing him all the way back to base.
That hurts. Okay, they find the I'm offended on King Kong. That's a lot of damage already coming in from SRG.
Disiplin dulu, sabar. Baru 11 minit.
Mind you, this is
Masuk
already
fasa
a
mid game
Kimmy
guys
who does have the talisman first item, but also the blood wing. So there should be a bit more of the shield. There should be a bit more ways for him to take all that damage. But it does seem like SRG just has too much. A single combo from the duality from Stormy is already able to bring him down to half HP. And if you even look at the damage dealt ranking, Innocent, Stormy, they're just up there. Onic PH have a lot of catching up to do in terms of that. And how long will it still take for them before they hit their power spikes or spikes, as you mentioned it?
7,000 gold lead. Disiplin je duk ni. Sumpah, jangan sampai mistake ni. Kena macam Team Spirit semalam nangis tak berlagu duk comeback.
Dragon Spear gets built up, but he still needs the Melfic gun here to go through that front line, which has been like really tanky. Or in a way, you won't really expect them to be tanky because it's a Kalea and Ruby. These two heroes aren't really the best of tanks, but they've just been able to brawl things out, dish out so much damage that it's more of SRG doing more than taking. Onic Philippines on the other side, they've just
Ruby kaya juga kan, 8,000 gold lead kan.
Brusco really struggling in the gold department, almost, well, again, 500 gold down, 600 gold down. The jungle is the biggest one. You can see that massive gap between the Joy and the Baksha, where King Kao's really struggling on the utility pick right now. Radiant armor, anti-Cuirass, he's building towards the Skyguard and helmet, I believe. He just needs a bit more HP. That's what the team needs. But SRG are not
Jadi
giving
dalam keadaan
any
selesa guys
space
SRG
over.
sekarang. Disiplin je lagi. Lot kedua mudah dapatkan oleh Sky. Berundur dulu, reset dulu. Jangan gopoh gapah.
Just standing there already does so much for SRG OG, because there's a threat that if King Kong goes in and bumps into the wrong target, it'll be almost zero chances of him getting out of that because of the continuous layers of crowd control that can come in from SRG OG. And so clearly there was an attempt from King Kong there, but they did not decide to risk it anymore. And so that's going to be another problem. Like, King Kong has such a huge responsibility on his shoulders right now to tank majority of the damage. Even Kirk has the war axe priority here on the CC and is yet to build the other defense items that will be necessary for them to buy a bit more time for their team.
Ada ke?
So
Dekat lot
now
ni.
here comes the Lord once again
Wave
marching down the bottom lane.
besar dia lagi ni.
What does Onic
Kerang masuk, Stormy kena follow up duk.
Will they actually go for a setup there, or does SRG just take this through the disciplined route
Okay,
and just
dapat.
focus on the turrets instead of anything else. And it seems like that's what they're planning, or that's what they intend to do.
Tengok ada loophole lah, ada loophole lah. Brusco kanan duk nak flank daripada belakang duk.
To do anything right now. They can just play very slow.
Tak. Jangan
They probably
slow.
did watch the matchup against Spirit yesterday for Onic Philippines, and they saw how Onic Philippines were able to orchestrate
Tak ada loophole
such a
lagi guys
massive
untuk
comeback in
masuk.
the later stage of the game, and it was through going a bit greedy, overextending. So SRG, they're going to play the disciplined game. They've taken risks all this time to get an 8,000 gold lead, but now with the 8,000
Conceal,
gold lead,
daripada Yum.
Yum's conceal already. That's going to be the dive with the
Oh nice! Kelra down!
Getting the assassination on Kelra.
Sekarang hidup ke? Hidup ke? Mati. Tapi Flynn down. Brusco lambat masuk. Flicker pada Yum. Yum low gila duk. Ya Allah,
Stormy surviving with the regen just barely off of that turret.
Baik those guys. Jumpa belakang. Mati dia berbaloi guys Dah bagat mid duk.
Not overextending, but that's
Tarikan.
way different. If SRG was not this much ahead, Onic PH with just Brusco, King Kong, and Kirk try to look for another trade, but
Distribution.
Tsunami just keeps
Pick off.
getting his HP
Mati ni.
back.
Tsunami slam over to King Kong.
Aduh,
Yum's
tak
going
sampai
back in
pula.
again, but King Kong gets away with the shield unity.
Sabar reset. Jangan gopoh.
Onic Philippines
Golit masih pegang lagi.
but look at the
One last push insyaAllah guys. Dengan lot ni kena disiplin duk. Wah.
Just Sakai's who they lost in exchange of all base turrets from Onic PH and a few kills here and there. So that is clearly a win for SRG OG. The lead hasn't been that much affected by that single pickoff they got onto Sakai's. It's still at a 7k gold lead, and they can
Kerasnya
just stay
keram.
sure, playing their game, playing a bit more disciplined and careful from this point onwards, because they definitely got what they wanted, what they needed
Lifesteal
from that level
Ruby
2
lah, guys.
Lord, and they're just 9 seconds away from potentially getting theirs next and maybe last Lord if Onic PH doesn't find a way to deal with this. But does King Kong
Moga dia
really want to
memudahkan,
go
guys,
in first? SRG OG, they've already
Okay,
positioned
lot yang
themselves
ketiga
well
kali
enough,
ni
and
Onic
we're
PH
necessarily
terpaksa
revealed
untuk
by the
kontes ya.
Magic
Kalau tak
Sentry.
kontes memang auto lose guys. Tapi harap-harap dekat lot ni kemas lah.
3 base turrets to their name. They can play the slow game again.
SRG tak ada pressure kat lot ni sangat guys. Sebab apa? Wave management menang kat dia orang. Jadi kalau nak winning lagi condition guys kan, bagi minion tu tolak sendiri. Dah cun minion tolak, try engage sikit. Nak tak nak sebab dia akan kurang player guys. Ni kalau ada pecah ni,
And Kelra
kalau Stormy diversion kat atas ni,
deal with the waves up top. This
Lord.
is gonna be a disadvantage for them, leaving King Kong to
Oh, boleh dapat kan? Kalau innocent ke King Kong lu Skies Winter Crown Immortality follow up. Nice. Baik dok Brusco Kelra. Nice. Baik 4 down. Super freeze. Alhamdulillah. Rata tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Maniac didapatkan oleh Innocent. GG. Game pertama. Wah, disiplin. Jauh beza dengan semalam guys. Congratulations to SRG. Sama-sama kita saksikan game kedua sebentar saja lagi. Nice try to Onyx. Believe in. Wah, game ni baik guys. Harap momentum dia diteruskan guys. 3-0 pun boleh guys kalau macam ni. Let's go.